Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Random Vlogging about comics. So those of you that haven't watched Lore Explorer from the beginning of the week or didn't tune into my stream last night, which was an epic fail, but we still had a lot of fun, this week I am doing everything this week is about comics leading up to a really, I think, very cool Friday feature focus. That's going to come out sometime on Friday. I'm not sure when, just because I just started my new job, so I don't know what time I'm going to be able to film it. Yeah, so that's what it's going to be, and it's going to be really cool. And yeah, I'm excited. So today is a comic themed random vlogging. So that's going to be fun. Just some, I guess, update type stuff. Again, I have a job. It's a full-time salaried position. So yeah, in general, I have to work about 44 hours a week, which is not bad at all. And it's something I think I'm going to have a lot of fun and I'm going to really enjoy. So yeah, that's a big deal. It's definitely going to change how the channel works for a little while until I get kind of into the swing of things and then balancing that and school and everything. I mean, it's going to be tough. To be 100% honest, this is going to be very difficult for me. But I'm not going to give up because this is really important to me and you guys are really important to me. You really have changed my life over the past year. I'm a completely different person than I was a year ago. And you guys have helped me through some really tough times and it's been amazing. So thank you. You guys are all awesome. So, yes, the workout. I told you guys that I would keep you updated on my workout stuff. I have not done a workout in over a week. And I will guarantee that half of it has been because of this job search has been really draining. And the other half has been my depression has been really unbelievably bad the past, I'd say, week to week and a half. To the point where I had a couple days where I never left this room. So yeah, I'm working on getting back into the habit. But again, it's going to take time balancing everything else in my life right now. So yeah. All right. So topic for today. I gotta get a little more comfortable. So what I want to talk about today. You guys have mentioned that, at least a couple of you have mentioned, you wanted to hear my opinions and ideas about certain current events and stuff like that. And in the comic world, there are two really big announcements that happened recently that have got a lot of people up in arms on both sides of the discussion. And that is changing Captain America changing and Thor changing. So I figured I would give you my personal opinions on these subjects. I'm going to start with probably the easier one, which is Captain America. Basically, for those of you that don't know, spoiler alert, Captain America is going to be relinquishing his shield to Falcon. He and Captain America have been working together for a long time. They apparently, I'm not a huge Captain America fan, and I have not kept up with him. Basically, after Civil War, after he came back after getting killed in Civil War, I've not really been keeping up with Captain America, but I'm familiar with Falcon. Anyone that's seen Captain America: The Winter Soldier, that is the same character that is now going to be Captain America. And Captain America is going to be, Steve Rogers is going to be kind of, not really downgraded, but he's going to be support as opposed to in the field. And one of the big things that a lot of people have brought to light is the fact that now we're going to have a black Captain America, which isn't actually the first time that's ever happened. But people are making a big deal about it because people like to make big deals about it. My personal opinion, I do not know the Falcon very well. I really don't. So I don't know how well he's going to fit into being the new Captain America. But from what I have read and heard from other people, a lot of people that are familiar with the character thinks he will make a pretty cool Captain America. And I think so too. However, I am a little bit upset about losing Steve Rogers as Captain America, mostly because I'm not a huge Captain America fan in general, but I love the character himself. Like I don't keep up on the comics or anything, but I think the character is really cool for a number of reasons. First and foremost being that technically Captain America is not a superhero. Um, he in the Marvel universe, he's what's called peak human, meaning the fastest person in the world, the fastest human in the world, Olympic athletes, he is on the same level as Olympic athletes. But he doesn't have super strength. He doesn't have super speed or anything like that. He's just peak human. So he is technically a human competing with these people that have super strength and can shoot laser beams out of their eyes and have armor that can do a million different things. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And I've always liked that about the character is the idea that he's not a superhero in the strictest sense. He's a hero. And he puts himself out on the line. He doesn't have a healing factor. He gets the crap kicked out of him and stuff like that. He really has to worry about dying. Where they're like Wolverine, the likelihood of him ever being killed is relatively small because of his healing factor and everything else. So that's the thing I've always liked about him. And I've always been the smart kid versus the athletic kid. Always have been. I've never been incredibly athletic, if you can tell right now. That's just not who I am. And that was the other thing I liked about Steve Rogers was the fact that he was a brilliant tactician, and that's why he was so good at being Captain America. He had the ability to understand angles in physics and geometry, and that's how he does all the shield throwing stuff. That's not, he doesn't have a magic shield or he doesn't have psychic control over the shield. He just understands how physics and geometry works and knows what he has to do to ricochet his shield off of certain things and get it back to him. That's brilliant. Again, he's not a superhuman. He's a regular guy that's in peak condition in everything because of what happened to him, because of the and now I can't even remember what it was, what the project was called. But he was artificially created, but still, that's he's not technically super. He's just peak human, and his mind is there too. And I always love that. And this new Falcon, he's not. I mean, he is a superhero. He has technology that's helping him, and he can fly. And they've mentioned that he's probably not going to be throwing the shield as much because that's just not his thing. I don't like that, to be perfectly honest. I like the fact that Captain America was a regular human being in a world of superheroes. And not only could he stand, not only did he survive, he thrived. He was very well looked upon by a large portion of the superhero community. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it works. I want to see how they treat, because technically, the Falcon isn't quote unquote superhuman either, but he becomes superhuman when he starts using his wings and things like that, because that's not something a regular human can do. So that's my little opinion on that. Thor, I have a much more angry opinion, and it's not what you think. Um, Thor has lost his ability to wield Mjolnir before. And we've already found out that Captain America is one of the people that is worthy of wielding the hammer. And there's been other people that have wielded it too. I'm fine with that, especially since when something like that happens, it's a great way for Thor to grow. And again, I'm not an expert on Thor. I don't read his comics anywhere near as much as I want to. But I understand the character of Thor, and I followed his progress a little bit more than I have Captain America. Not a lot. I still don't know 90% of the story. But the thing that's kind of upsetting me about this is their marketing ploy, to be 100% honest. Is the fact that they're pushing this huge emphasis of this isn't Lady Thor, this is Thor, this is the Thor, and it's not. I'm sorry, ladies. I know that we all. I love really strong female characters. It's one of the reasons I love Miyazaki films. Miyazaki writes great, strong female characters, and I love strong female characters. It's one of the things I find attractive in women, girls that I date, both of them. They tend to be very strong women because I find that attractive. Confidence is sexy. I've said it before, and I really like that. So I'm totally happy with the idea of having a female Thor and having a woman be able to control. That's really cool. But she will be a female Thor. She will not be Thor. You want to know why? Because she doesn't become the son of Odin. She doesn't. She doesn't. Thor is who he is. That's not. And I'm going to steal this argument directly from the mighty Jared. He had a really great podcast where he talked about it, and I agree 100% with it. She is not Thor. She is not the son of Odin. Her name isn't Thor. Like you don't. His argument, and I thought it was beautiful, is kind of like replacing Captain America and calling the new person that wears the shield Steve Rogers. You would never do that because they don't become Steve Rogers, they become Captain America. Thor is not a secret identity. Thor is not a secret. That's who he is. He is Thor, son of Odin. And just because he can't wield the powers of Thor doesn't mean he's not Thor anymore. It doesn't mean that he's no longer from Asgard. It doesn't mean that Odin is no longer his father, that Loki is no longer his brother. He is still Thor. A female will be wielding his powers, and I don't mind calling her, Thor or anything like that because that's. But this ploy that they're going is like this is the only Thor in the Marvel universe. It is just quite literally just to attract a female audience. That is the only purpose behind it. And while I understand that that's a good thing, we want more people reading comics. We want more people. Geek culture in general is designed to be inclusive. But to be perfectly honest, it's kind of a slap in the face to fans of Thor. Because they're basically saying, well, no, Thor doesn't exist anymore. Thor, if Thor did something wrong, which he's done, again, he's done this before. It has happened. The movie that they made about Thor showed one portion where he was not worthy to wield Mjolnir, and I think I'm butchering the pronunciation because it's very very late for me, and I've been up way too long. So I mean, I understand that having a female Thor is going to be really really cool, but she is not the only Thor. There's still a Thor. He is still a human being, and you can't take away his name simply because you want to go, no, we have strong female characters. No. You're creating a female version of Thor, which is fantastic. I think it's wonderful. And I would love to see, because Thor's going to get his power back. I will guarantee this. That's how it always works. But I would love to see whomever takes up the mantle of Thor, I would love to see them continue somehow. Make Odin give them something special, let them keep that power, separate the power, however you want to do it. I think that's really cool, and I would love to see a female foil to Thor because I love strong female characters, and I would love to see her join the Avengers, or I'd love to see her interact with everybody, Iron Man and the X-Men and the Scarlet Witch and all that. I would love to see that happen, and I would love to see her interact with Thor when he gets his powers back, because he's going to, guys. That's how it works. Because I think that is they could be brilliant foils for each other. Because Thor has been doing this a lot longer than this new Lady Thor. So he will have experience on his side, and yet she will have experience being Thor, but she will have experiences that he doesn't, and people will react to her differently. And if they don't take advantage of this in the comic books, where and with their marketing ploy, I will guarantee they will have at least one issue where somebody reacts to her going, "Oh, look, it's Lady Thor," and she'll go, "No, I am the Thor," blah blah blah, except more feminine that I can't do. And again, it's a marketing ploy. And I don't like the idea that they're trying to masquerade it as, no, we're trying to build a female character. No, it's a marketing ploy. That's all it is. It's just marketing. And that's what I'm going into, by the way, guys. I mean, I understand marketing, but it's a bit of a slap in the face when you try and hide a marketing ploy as something else entirely. Like, no, we're trying to do the right thing. No, you're trying to sell things, which is fine. That's how the world works. You know, people make money. That's not a bad thing. But when you try and basically boldface lie to us and go, no, 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 this is the real Thor, and we're making a strong female character, and we're blah, blah, blah. No, you're trying to appeal to a female audience. That's why they announced it on The View, which is like a predominantly female audience, and they didn't announce it, in the comics annuals. They're trying to reach a new market, which is brilliant. That's a good thing, but it's I don't like this idea that they're presenting this marketing ploy. They're presenting this attempt to get and reach a new audience as trying to do the right thing, or trying to do this huge blow for women's rights. They're not doing that. They're just trying to sell more comic books. That's all it is. And it's a smart way to do it, but it's a bit of a slap in the face. This one's a little bit long, but that's a lot of information. So in the comments below, let me know, what do you think of the new Captain America and the new Thor? Let me know if you disagree with me. If you agree with me, I'm gonna try and find a link to the Jurge podcast, and I'll put that in the doobly-doo, so you guys can listen to that. Check it out. It's really, really interesting. First of all, Jeff is Jeff is fun to listen to him rant. He really is. I really enjoy watching him get upset because it's hilarious. So that's a lot of fun, and the whole podcast itself is actually really, really good. He does it regularly. I can't remember if it's like weekly or bi-weekly or something like that, but he does it regularly. I think it's called like the Comic Corner podcast. It's really, really fun. I'll try and find a link and put it in the doobly-doo. So other than that, if you guys want to know more of the stuff that I'm doing, at Trainer Jody on Twitter is where I announce everything for my channel. So if you're not following me on Twitter yet, do it. Anytime I stream, anytime I put out a new video, anytime something massive changes, I always post it on Twitter. So check that out. Also, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. All right, so again, that is all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow for some more comic theme random vlogging. And please, please, please tune in on Friday. I'm doing this really awesome Friday Feature Focus. I've been planning it and preparing for it for over 2 or 3 weeks now. I've been working my tail off for it. It's going to be really, really cool, and it's going to be in celebration of Guardians of the Galaxy launching. So please, guys, check that out. I'm so excited to have you guys see this, all right? Again, that is all for me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.